From your morning coffee to your late night snack, that shopping cart of yours is basically a snapshot of the entire economy. But have you ever stopped to wonder which of those everyday brands are really winning the battle for your dollar? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the top consumer staple stocks of 2025. And let me tell you, the winners and losers might just surprise you.
Okay, so first things first, let's get on the same page. When we say consumer staples, what are we talking about? These are the absolute essentials, right? The stuff that fills our pantries and fridges, the things we buy pretty much on autopilot, whether the economy's flying high or in a bit of a slump. We're talking food, drinks, household goods, the bedrock of our daily lives. So that leads us to the big question. You've got all these massive household name brands all fighting for our money. Which ones actually delivered the biggest bang for their investors' buck in 2025? The answer? Well, it's probably not what you're expecting.
The biggest headline from 2025? Oh, it's impossible to miss. It was, without a shadow of a doubt, the year of the discount store. It seems like when we all started hunting for value, investors were right there with us, following the money.
And wow, this slide really says it all. Just look at that number. Dollar General pulled in a staggering 79.5% one-year return. That is absolutely massive. It just screams investor confidence in that deep discount business model.
And get this, it wasn't a fluke. Its biggest competitor, Dollar Tree, came in with an almost equally mind-blowing 69.1% return. You put those two numbers together, and you get a crystal-clear picture of a market that was absolutely hungry for a bargain.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. When you put these discount giants right next to a beloved retailer like Costco, which, by the way, had a very respectable 9.3% gain, the difference is just immense. I mean, this isn't a small gap. We're talking about two completely different leagues. It tells you everything you need to know about the economic pressures and priorities that were shaping how we all shopped in 2025.
But hold on. The story doesn't stop with discount shopping. If we dig a little deeper, we find another really fascinating trend. It turns out that even while we were hunting for bargains on the basics, we were still making room in the budget for some very specific treats. And here they are, the high flyers. The beauty giant Estee Lauder up over 44%. Monster Beverage, keeping us all going with a much-needed energy boost, matched that with a 44% return of its own. And even Philip Morris International showed a really strong 31% gain. You'll notice these aren't essential groceries. They're more like affordable little luxury.
So what's the takeaway here? It's that the 2025 consumer was kind of playing both sides. We were stretching our dollars at discount stores to cover the basics, but at the same time, we weren't willing to give up those small, personal rewards, that favorite energy drink, a quality lipstick. It's a fascinating psychological snapshot, isn't it?
Okay, so what about the absolute titans of the industry? The massive, iconic brands you see literally everywhere. Well, they had a good year too, but their story is more about steady, reliable growth. Think of them as the marathon runners, not the sprinters we saw from the discount stores. And you can see that steady performance right here. You've got the retail giant Walmart delivering a really solid 23.5% return. The agribusiness powerhouse Bunge Global was up over 18%, and the iconic Coca-Cola, a healthy 16% gain. Now, they're not as explosive as the discounters for sure, but these are strong, positive numbers from companies that are basically cornerstones of the global economy.
And speaking of Coke, we can't resist a quick peek at the classic rivalry. In the 2025 edition of the Cola Wars, there was a very clear winner. While Coke was enjoying that nice 16% bump, its rival PepsiCo had a much tougher year, ending up basically flat, maybe even slightly negative. It's a great reminder that even among the giants, performance can be all over the map.
All right, let's put all the pieces together and take a look at the final scorecard. Because when you see all the numbers side by side like this, the big themes of 2025 become crystal clear. And here it is, the leaderboard for the year. Right at the very top, no surprise, you have the discounters, Dollar General and Dollar Tree. They're really in a league of their own. They're followed by that really interesting mix of affordable luxuries from Estee Lauder and Monster. Then you've got the steady giants like Walmart and Coca-Cola posting those reliable gains. And then down at the bottom, you see companies like PepsiCo and P&G that just faced a tougher environment.
So if there's one big idea to take away from all this, it's this one. The performance of these stocks tells a really rich story about our collective mindset. It wasn't just a simple story about penny pinching. No, it was way more nuanced. A story about carefully choosing where to save and where to spend, and in the process, redefining what essential truly meant to us. And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. The stock market can feel kind of distant and abstract, right? But it's directly reflecting the choices that all of us are making every single day at the checkout counter. So the next time you're out shopping, take a look in your cart. What story is it telling?